Okay, while I sit here at the bus stop waiting on the bus, the other night we were at Bible study and we had our MITs. Well, I just call them ministers. That's just me. They got up and they gave a little 5 minute, small little discussion on where they were and how God had been working with them in different places. And a lot of different things just flowed with that whole little time span. Talked about faith, we talked about relationship, we talked about being called. Those are the three key things that popped out in my head. And that's the part, that's where all of this that you're about to hear is going to come from. And it may get mixed up a little, but I'm just letting God just use me to flow in the way that He wants this to flow. When we talk about faith, we've heard all the regular scenario. Faith is the things, the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. And we, say, well, I got a bill due, and I'm just knowing that. But here's something He showed me. Faith is remembering the promises that God made you, no matter how long ago they were, and that you still believe that it's possible. And knowing, not just believe that it's possible, but know that it's going to happen. God may have told you something when you were 10, 15, 20 years old, and you 40 or 50 years old right now, and you're like, Lord, I ain't never seen that happen. You still breathing, you still living. Maybe you decided to put that dream down because of you started a family or had a job or whatever. Sometimes you need to go back and reopen that dream back up and talk to God about that dream. Because if God had promised it to you, the only reason it hasn't come to pass is because you set it down. It's the only reason. Faith, and see, sometimes our faith gets so beat up, and it doesn't necessarily have to get beat up over what we're dealing with at that moment. But sometimes our faith gets beat up in other areas, and it affects all the other areas of our life. So you have to always work with your faith because, see, people will see you struggle in one area and say, oh, well, you don't really believe God. Yeah, I believe God, but right here in this little area, this spot is not as strong as my other spots. So remember that too. And when it comes to relationship, every relationship that we have with God, we go through periods where we really in love with Him. Other times we mad at Him. Other times we don't want to talk to Him. Other times we'll lie. We'll everything that we do in a normal relationship between two people, we do with God. Even when we get in trouble, we try to barter and make a deal with God. Be like, Lord, if you just work with me this one time, I'll do right the next time, and you do good for a while, but then you go right back, and through either intentional or unintentional means, you'll still make another mistake. You're going to continue to make mistakes. It's just a part of the nature of who we are as His creation. And here's the thing: God has always made provisions for all of your mistakes because He knew you was gonna make them. But see, a lot of times you don't really realize or even open your eyes to realize God knew you was going to do that. And He made a way for you to get out of it if you chose to come clean. But see, most of the time we try to cover up our mistakes with another story, another thing, and we compound and make something that's simple to fix so difficult to fix because we won't just admit and say, "Yeah, Lord, I messed up today. I didn't have such a great day." Or sometimes you even just have to tell yourself, you know what, you didn't do everything you could have did today. And then one of the last things was that we got to talking about the man that was struck down with palsy and his friends carried him to Jesus. This one really did a lot with me. And the simple fact is this is when you are paralyzed, that means you can't move. And another thing about it, when you can't move, that means your body starts to break down. That means that you become smaller, you're shriveled up. A lot of times, some people are drawn up. So As they're carrying him, they're literally carrying him because this man had been on this bed for a long time. So you can almost say that this man was laying on his deathbed. Here's a key point for you. Are you laying on your deathbed by not doing everything that you can? What's got you stuck? And here's another thing. Choose your team wisely. Because sometimes we be choosing out of our feelings or out of who we think is cool or who think was going to be the yes man or the no girl or whatever. Choose your team. Choose people that are really going to be honest with you about what it is that you need to fix in yourself, what's right with you and what's wrong with you. Choose your team wisely. Your life can depend on it because this man's life depended on him having the right team around him. And then here's the thing. As they carried him along this journey, they took him from a place of death. Because wasn't nobody really trying to worry, be too, other than these four friends, who was really concerned about him? We don't know. We're not sure. But he was laying in a place where if he had not moved, because he couldn't move on his own, somebody had to help make the process for him to be able to move. So here you've got friends that care enough, love you enough, not to leave you in the current state that you're in. And they take him from a place of death to a place of life. Because Jesus is nothing but life. So now, one doorway is full. We can't get in. To get you, we got you almost to the place of life. We just need a few more steps and you be right there, you be straight. But there's a hindrance in the way. Now we can say, well, man, we tried, let's take you back to where you was, or we can go a little bit higher and see if there's another route. And see, sometimes when you try to get into the regular way, to that easy path, see, the easy path ain't always the best path. See, they had to take and go up on the roof, and not only just go up on the roof, but they had to remove some things out the roof to get down into. And then here's the thing, the friends weren't worried about getting in themselves. They wanted to just make sure that he got in. See, sometimes you got to make sure that the people you got around you, they're not trying to get their own. They're more concerned with, at that moment, you making sure that you're okay. Excuse me. Because sometimes you can have a group of people around you that are a little bit concerned about you, but they're more concerned about themselves. So that's a little bit of what I have. The end result of what I'm saying to you is this. God always makes provision for you. God has given you dreams, and he's given you hopes, and he's given you thoughts that you may have laid down. You may have allowed some things in your life to make you stuck, make you freeze you up, keep you from stepping out into doing all the things that you really are able and capable and equipped to do. Reevaluate your life. Open your heart back up. Listen to what God has been telling you and what he's been calling you to do. Because there are some things that you have some work that's still left undone. And for anybody that's going through something today, struggling, having a bad day on this Friday, know that God has made provisions for your day to get better. All you got to do is turn to him and say, Lord, what is it that you have for me that is going to make my day better? Open my eyes up to let me see what it is that you've already laid out in front of me. I love you. Peace out. Be blessed.